so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Realtors Keeping It Real on our podcast called Thoughts for Rent. Hosted by Jenni McKenna.
Where is she?
She's not here. This is, I think, the first time myself, Max Zurfloo, and
Irelynn Zurfloo.
Hey, that's the same last name. It's the first time we're going to do a podcast together without Jenni.
I think we should call it the Zurflueh Takeover.
The Zurfloos take over the whole thing.
No McKenna's allowed.
Anyway, this is Irelynn. It's my daughter, my second daughter, my middle child.
His favorite daughter.
Is it hard being a middle child?
No. I think it would be a lot harder being a middle child if I didn't
have great parents?
If I wasn't your walking clone in life.
Yes, we are very similar. We're very similar. We crack the same jokes. We laugh at the same things. So that's good. Lucky you, huh? Look
I know.
At you.
I have such good parents. Look at that.
What about this microphone being right in front of your whole face? You're so pretty. There we go.
What about the sound quality? We were so concerned about it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They'll let us know if they don't. Anyway, hey, we have this podcast. Hope you guys are subscribing to it and watching it on a regular basis. And we want to make sure that we are offering you good quality information and content. I know that we talk about real estate a lot and talk about property management. I think you and Jenni talk about, a lot of the processes in your property management company, right?
Yeah, a lot of legislation, a lot of procedures. But I also tune into your guys' episodes, and I know that there have been talks on vacation. I think you guys spent a whole episode talking about Dr. Pepper and how Jenni hates Pepsi and how she prefers Coke. So
we have done that.
We talk about everything.
We have done that.
Left, right, and center, for sure.
And when you and I get together, we can't keep it too serious. That would be just horrible.
That just would not be our personalities at all. So we got to mix it up a little bit. It's probably why Jenni hasn't allowed us to have an episode yet.
She can go over there and do that. I have a thought, though, that I want to talk about. I've been seeing a lot lately, not only on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all these videos of people misbehaving at airports or on a plane or getting in fights and all this stuff. I've seen a couple, live things lately. I was at the bank yesterday and this guy was getting into it with the teller. And he was just pissed because he had to wait a long time because the one teller couldn't deposit foreign funds and he didn't want to wait for the other teller. But he was talking to a corporate. He says, I want her to be disciplined and just yelling at her.
Jeez.
And another guy in the bank was like, hey, don't be so mean to her. And they almost got into a fight. So it was like a live TikTok video I was watching. But
I saw the one where some McDonald's worker got coffee thrown in her face.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that one.
Soup has done. I've seen someone throw soup on somebody. What is happening? Why are people mean to each other?
Like full fist fights, like jumping over the sandwich deli to
Why is this happening, Irelynn? You tell me.
I don't know. Well, I always think holidays make people crazy. So maybe we're seeing a lot of those videos because it's post-Christmas. But I always think holidays make people crazy and heat make people crazy. Because I feel like in Vegas, sometimes I'll have a conversation with someone in July and they're just so nasty. And then I think to myself, they probably are just dehydrated and hot. But there might be something to be said about more views for more negative stuff.
Well, sure.
People are more interested in seeing that.
And, we have to be careful because you don't know what a person's going through. There's always been, people talked about road rage or someone cuts
rage?
Yeah, I kind of screwed that one. Someone cuts you off on the road and you're like, oh, but you don't know what that person's going through that day.
Absolutely.
People have always said, you don't know what they're going through. Just
walk a mile.
Which is great. Yeah, sure. Which is great, but it really doesn't excuse behavior, does it?
I don't think it does.
Shouldn't.
I think that, I'm going to butcher this, but I think people say that it can be a reason, but it can't be an excuse. So it could be a reason as to why maybe you reacted so poorly, but it should never be an excuse to continue reacting that way.
You've just tried to quote a bold law.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you can have reasons and you can have results.
Oh, but you can't have both.
No, it's right. It can't be an excuse. But I think, also there's different personalities in the world. Like if someone started getting into conflict with me, I'd probably run. I'd be like, oh, no, I don't want conflict. What about you? I think you're probably the opposite. You'd be like, hey, you want to be mean to me? I'll throw it back at you. Let's go.
I unfortunately am a little bit of I hide behind screens. Like I'll admit it that when someone gets me on the phone or someone gets me over email or someone gets me over text, I'll match their energies. But I do shrink a little bit in person.
Live conversations?
Yeah, it gets me a little stressed.
Well, that might bring to a point maybe something we should discuss. As social media came about and screens were there to hide behind, maybe people have gotten more bold in their conversations. And maybe that has transferred over to even in live. They're like, I remember when I was telling this person off online, maybe I'll tell them off in person too.
Potentially. I definitely feel like as I've gotten more in the industry, I've been not aggressive, but I've been more willing to be confrontational.
You have to be, right? I mean, sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to get run over.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Well, even earlier this week, I had a guy give me a call, and it was probably the second or third time he tried to call me that day, but I kept being in meetings. And when I finally answered, he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad I got you. You're such a hard person to get a hold of."
Oh, okay.
And it was just a little...
Oh, you felt that was negative?
It was like a little thing. And I was like, but I answered for you. And then just the other day, too, a girl tried to call me, and it was the first time she called me. She hadn't even called me that day. And then she said, "Oh, thank goodness I didn't get your voicemail." Like, why are we walking into it?
Well, it's because
negatively.
We live in a world where people want an answer right away.
Yeah.
It's so different than it was 20, 30 years ago. Like when you're on a text, well, first of all, you're horrible at responding to text, by the way.
I'm absolutely
in our family, you're
not.
the slowest. You're the slowest.
Okay.
I'm just saying our family.
My brother, Kai, doesn't even respond to text messages.
You're right. I guess I forgot about that.
I'm the second worst person in the family.
But people get so accustomed to text, and they'll text somebody and then they'll wait. And they'll see the bubble or don't see the bubble, and they're like, why isn't they responding? They might be doing something, for crying out loud.
That's fair. That's why I leave my read receipts on. Because then if you don't get an immediate response, you'll know why, because I haven't read it yet.
Oh, yeah, I turned mine off.
That's because he's a quick responder.
Plus, I don't want people to know whether I read it or not, because then they'll expect an answer. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I just never... I don't open it until I'm ready to reply.
Well, that's one thing. But I think that... I think this immediate answers, immediate gratification is something we're dealing with. But let me ask you this: as far as being sort of angry and being mean to people, you're in your job. You have to deal with tenants and owners and vendors and people who, and maybe even some staff who might be a little pissy.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think who gets treated better when they're trying to get something out of you? Someone who's being mean and pushy, or someone who's being patient and cooperative? Who gets treated better? Who gets a quicker result? See, this is taking too long.
Quicker results, truthfully, it's the saying that you say all the time. It's that the squeaky wheel gets the most oil. So quicker results are going to be the person who probably has the bigger attitude and has more complaints and is reaching out to us more. Better, more efficient, more cooperative results will probably be the person who is patient. And I always say, too, the person who provides more description is always going to get faster, better results. But that's because I work in the repairs department and like contracting. So the more descriptive they can be, then the more information I can have from the very beginning. So then rather than having to do a back and forth to gather all this new info. So, but yeah, I do think that sometimes I do appeal more towards the squeakier wheel than I do the person.
To get them off your docket, or just...
Yeah. But
is that right?
To say squeaky wheel, though, does not necessarily mean aggressive or mean or a rude person. It's just the person who is chatting the most, who's reaching out the most, who's calling the most. So sometimes they can be still very nice. But if they're doing constant reach outs, then I'm most likely responding to them first.
Okay, well, let's reset the scenario. Let's say two people need a dishwasher replaced at their property. And one calls you up and they're like, "Hi, my dishwasher's broken. I'd really love to get a new one. Do you think you could, coordinate that?" And then the second person calls and says, my dishwasher broke down. I want a new dishwasher here in 2 hours. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that I have to live without a dishwasher for so long. I want my dishwasher now. Those two people call within 10 minutes. Who would you be inclined to help?
I would definitely be more inclined to help the first person. I'm going to help both, but I will probably take care of the first person first if they called at the exact same time with the exact same need.
Because?
Just because they were nicer.
They were pleasant.
100%.
And we all want to be treated. We want to be treated nicely.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's what you put out in the universe too. So I'm constantly trying to be as kind as I can to those people in my life as well. I try to be kind to a hairstylist, my nail technician, my bank.
You have a boiling point?
I don't think I have a boiling point. I think I will hang up before I let it get to somebody else, before I let it hurt somebody else.
And in person, you'll just either walk away or something like that.
I probably.
I mean, I'm really non-confrontational. Your mother, a little Irish lady, she's been known. She's not like a Karen though. You know, she won't. She's like, and we've had situations early in our marriage where something didn't go right on a flight, and she wanted me to, take on the entire airport and start beating people up. But I was just calm about it, and we got our flight quickly, and we actually got in a big disagreement about how that was handled. But I think the way I handled it was better because you just can't get too excited,
Well, you've said this, Jenny has said this, and even my current partner has said this.
You don't say his name?
No, he doesn't want to.
Oh, geez.
Apparently, I come off as very rude in restaurants. Is feedback that I've been told. I do nothing. I put my order in. That's all I'm doing.
You're a matter of fact, but I will look back to an Outback dinner your mom and I had with you when you were probably 12.
I was 12.
I know, but I think it set the tone. They come after the meal. Hey, how was your steak? How was your meal? And most people just go, yeah, great, thanks, da-da-da. And so Jenny and I both said, yeah, it was good, thank you. And she goes, well, my meat was a little tough, to be honest with you, at Outback. So that's, maybe you want things the way you want them. Yeah.
I still to this day don't understand why people ask questions that they don't want answers to. Mm-hmm. And as a child, I also thought that when they asked that it wasn't just
they really wanted to know.
They really wanted to know. And so I was going to tell them. But I've been told that I tend to be too matter of fact. I'm not as sociable. I'm not as chit-chattery with staff. And I don't think
you're a matter of fact person. You're to the point.
So I have been told that it can come off a little scary.
Well, I'm that way too on the phone. I know when you're on the phone, I'll hear you sometime on the phone, and you'd love to end the conversation because all the important information has been relayed. Yeah. We are done with the important stuff in this conversation, but people want to keep going or repeat what you talked about. Oh, it drives me crazy. So you probably get that from me. I'm a little impatient with talking about things that we don't need to talk about. I'll even say to my mom on the phone, I'll say, Mom, we've reached the end of this conversation. Let's hang up, which is kind of funny. Your sister, she likes to.
She loves to jibber jabber.
She'll extend it.
I have some friends who give me a hard time because I don't like to do FaceTimes. I think that it can either be a phone call that gets settled or it can be a text. I don't know why you have to see my face to answer a question.
Is that the same when we call you on FaceTime?
Well, when was the last time you called me on FaceTime?
We wanted to see the dog or something like that.
The last time they called me on FaceTime was probably to rub it in my face that they're on vacation somewhere and show me some kind of beach that they're laying out.
I think the last time we were on Facebook, all I saw was from here up or something. I think you'd just woken up. The ceiling and your forehead was off.
And then that was it.
Well, I just think people tend to talk a little bit more than needs be, and that sometimes can aggravate me.
Do you ever feel like there's a moment that people have earned the boiling point? You're the customer. Do you feel like there's ever a way to be treated that deserves that kind of end result?
Yes, I think the answer has to be yes. At some point, someone screws up so royally or is treating you so poorly that you need to respond accordingly. And I think my boiling point has gotten lower and lower as I've gotten older. Does that make sense?
So you're more irritable.
Yeah, I think I'm quicker to be irritated and tell somebody. Emily knows me to be pretty not confrontational. And we went to a thing at Mandalay Bay, and I'm a local, and I didn't want to pay $30 for parking. And this parking attendant said, well, you have to pay it. And I like immediately got angry with her, like, this is ridiculous, which is not my normal thing. But that somehow that just triggered me, made me go, what?
Yeah.
How come I'm paying so much money as a local to come to this place? I'm probably going to eat and losing money on gambling. And why am I paying more money? But things can trigger me lately.
I think Kai is probably the shortest fuse in the family, I would say.
It could be.
But he seems to be, I don't know. It seemed like
growing.
his fuse was short when he was younger, and now that he's getting older, the fuse is growing longer. But maybe
what is
as
this
he
call
gets
out
even more
Kai
older,
podcast here today? What the heck's going on?
only because
My little baby boy.
I used to see Kai reach his fuse, and I'd be with him. We'd be experiencing maybe the same thing, whether we were on vacation or at a restaurant or whatever. And I'm 10% into my fuse.
And he's way up there.
And he's already at like 0. So it is interesting that certain people will have a shorter fuse, and you need to know how to handle that. Some people will have super long fuses. But I always wonder if there's ever a point where it's warranted of the frustration, the yelling, the like coming back, or if it should always just be get me your manager, talk to corporate or whatever that is.
Yeah, maybe. So, I mean, I guess it's DNA. It's how you were raised. Probably first child might have something to do with it, or youngest child. Sorry, it might have something to do with it. But I do think that we want to be treated in America or across the world. We want to be treated with, for the customer, we want people to treat us well. And that's not always the case lately in customer service.
It's true.
But you can't, I don't think you can respond negatively to somebody who's maybe not doing their job as best as they could. Like I said, maybe they're having a bad day.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of commentary that, at least in the U.S., we exist in kind of a rat race of it all. And a lot of other countries, or I've seen a lot of comments or posts from other people living in other countries where things move at a slower pace, and then it's just understood that things move slower. And so everyone is okay with potentially a little bit of a longer delay because everything is already naturally slower. And I do wonder about that because Vegas is very fast-paced. I think a lot of people want answers very quickly.
You mean people that are visiting or people that live here?
People that live here. Oh. I think Vegas is one of the biggest cities when it comes to like immediate gratification, and then it just carries through. But I also think America as a whole, we have very different working hours and expectations for responses and return times compared to maybe other countries out there who... So
we need to slow down.
I think that would help. I think if everybody slowed down, I think the boiling point and the fuses would get...
So a 3-day work week for everybody.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
3-day work week, 4-day response time guarantee rather than 24-hour response time guarantee.
I know you're right about that because I live with someone who's very fast-paced and always boom. And sometimes you just want to go, let's just breathe a little bit and let's just suck it in and let's just look at our surroundings and enjoy them for a second. You're probably right about Europe and other countries like that. Interesting. I never thought about that.
I guess we'll have to go to Europe, find somebody in customer service, and then ask them if they've ever been yelled at.
I've been to Europe, and I've never had a bad experience so far. We just had a great experience at Disneyland, where we experienced customer service at its top level.
100%.
And when you see that, you go, wow, this is just amazing. Then you also look around and go, it's not really that hard to provide that kind of service. You know what I mean? It's not like difficult.
No.
Of course, we're nice people. Maybe if you had a bad customer, maybe they'd be.
I think it helps when we were in a space where there was 12 of us. Mm-hmm. And so the ratio, I think, was like for every 2 people, there was one person there.
That's true.
So the ratio of client to employee was super low. And obviously, then you look at Disney as a whole, though, and it's massive people, hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah. But then you also see how many employees they have. So I think ratio also helps. You need that support. You need your coworkers. You need the people who are going to help you out because there's only so much
one person can
do.
No, that makes sense. I totally agree.
I think that's why a lot of big companies people don't like because they don't hire enough people. And so you're not getting the service that you need.
It's that. It's also the industry and the situation you're in. People, when they're traveling, are always sort of on high alert anyways, or nervous. Or am I gonna, do I have everything I need? Am I going to make it? Da, da, da. So they just get on high tension, high alert, and then that can lead to some confrontations. I mean, knock on wood, I've been on a lot of flights in my life, more than most, and I've never seen what I've seen on some of the social media stuff where people are fighting in the seats and getting kicked out. Knock on wood, I've never seen that happen. Have you seen it happen?
No, not in person. I've just never, as a person, I've never understood why you would want to pick a fight in a metal box. It's like the most desirable place to pick a fight with someone. So I do my best to
And plus,
stay
you
out of
have
it.
no control. The captain's in charge, and if he says to get off the flight, you're getting off the flight. So
Oh yeah.
I think if you want to get to your destination, you better be on your best behavior. So I think that to round it off, we would say that maybe the key is to be patient and take a breath and work on being as pleasant as possible in your life, because that's going to create better experiences with other people, and it's going to get you probably better results if you can just try to remain pleasant even in hard times.
100%. I think that there is a way to be pleasant and still be persistent. I think that's the person who will get always helped first, is the person who can still remain pleasant and kind, but who stays firm in what they want and their objective. So I think pleasant and persistent is better than any other combination that you can come up with.
That's gold. That's gold right there.
There's gold.
That's good stuff. I get on the phone with people and I want to solve something, and sometimes you get people in foreign countries. And you're like, wait, American Express isn't headquartered in that place, is it? But I like to try to open the conversation with, hey, how are you doing today? Or, hey, where are you located? What's it like over there? Sometimes it opens up the conversation, and it serves me well.
I've tried to really hone in on names. I think once I put a name to like a phone call, I understand that they're a person. They're not just this mythical thing outside of me. So I've been trying to be really good at responding to people's names or getting their names when I first call, and then giving my name. So that's my little trick that I do.
That's a good one. Well, be kind to your partner, your spouse, your children, your family, your coworkers, the people you encounter in restaurants and on airplanes. Just be nice to everybody, and
Absolutely.
Life will be wonderful. Focus on that. Let's all focus on being nice. And like Irelynn says, being nice doesn't mean you can't be persistent in pushing what you want. Absolutely. And what you think you deserve to get as a customer or a coworker or a family member.
100%. And I'm going to be pleasant and polite and persistent when I say, if you liked what you listened to, subscribe to our channel. Tune in every single week. That's for Rent. Realtors keeping it real. And we hope you guys like this, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Irelynn. We are cool. Oh, there you go. Sound good? Okay, good. I'll pass over to Irelynn. Here you go, Ken.
Thanks, Pops.